When Jesus was asked, what is God? He said, love. Love. What is love? If it's not the connection of all things. We live in a holographic universe. That means each perspective of all of us hold the whole of all that is. You have to, sit with that. That's powerful. So in each one of us is everything that's ever been, ever was, ever will be. There is only inclusiveness, and there's nothing outside of you. Now you have to sit with that truth. Now, what does that mean? It means that each one of us are supported by the whole of all that is. Now that's pretty awesome, because that means that what you want and the journey you're on, which is a unique journey compared to everyone else you know, because we're each unique perspectives of that whole. And the journey that you're specifically on, and what you've asked for, and what you're designing, and what you're creating, and what it is that you need on this journey in order to move you more back into love and who you are, is taken care of and done, always coming to you right now, right now, right now, right now. It's coming to you. You're not having to go to it. It's coming to you. It's being unfolded to you all the time by the nature of the whole universe and all its parts and consciousness. Each person, place, thing, all of it is included on your journey. And the overall intelligence of what we call God is bringing it to you collectively. Do you understand? In order to support the individual consciousness that you are, and by the way, always will be. You will always be a unique individual consciousness of the whole. You'll never go back into and disappear into a wholeness and lose yourself. That is the illusion. The reality is you will be a unique individual consciousness of the whole of all that is. And you will have access to all that is once we let go of these barriers. Because we each have access to each other. We each flow with each other. Do you see? Kind of like a big rug, and each piece of the fabric could be the whole of the rug. Does that make sense? Therefore, it is part of the whole. It is supported by the whole. It is loved by the whole. It is the whole. Now, this is important because we need to understand the idea of forgiveness and innocence, which is the only way out of this mess, is to understand that we each have a responsibility, and we are doing it, regardless if we know it or not, and that is to support and love the whole of all that is. That means if you take each one of those threads of that carpet, and each one supports and loves each thread of the carpet, do you see? They become loving whole and individual perspectives at the same time. Does that make sense? So there is a part of you, me, and everyone else, anywhere, all consciousness, no matter if it's a bee, no matter if it's your table, and no matter if it's a person or the moon, that is always loving and supporting every single piece of the whole. Every single one. Loving, supporting it, always, always, always as itself. And when we don't do that, when we say, I don't like this, and I don't believe it's loving me, so therefore I'm not going to love it, then our individual perspective pushes against the whole of who we are. And that's what negative emotion is. That's what it is. That's why it doesn't feel good. So we have beliefs that we have picked up based on believing we're this individual body, this idea of the ego, which the ego always pertains itself and attaches itself to only the body. It's what the ego is. The ego and the body are the same thing. I am this body, therefore I am separate from you, and you are separate from me, and we have separate sources. So I cannot like you, or I can like you. But the reality is we are all individual perspectives, not of the body, but of a soul. And that soul is connected to all other souls. So therefore, it is supporting and loving all consciousness, everywhere, present, forever. And when we don't, when we believe we are a body, and I can be this individual ego body, and not like this, that soul, which you really are, then starts to try to disconnect from the whole of all that is. Now, this is being done unconsciously because we believe we're a body. We don't know that we're not. We're our thoughts and our feelings, because that's what connects us to the whole. Does it make sense? Now, the reason I say this is because I want to convince and reinforce back to myself that our responsibility is always to find love and appreciation for all of consciousness. And that's what forgiveness is. That's what innocence is. Recognizing I don't like that person, or I don't like this situation, so I must be seeing it incorrectly, because I know that I'm here to support and love all of consciousness. So if I'm not supporting it and loving it, I must be seeing it pertaining to my body, as a threat to my body, you see, or a threat to my individual personality while I'm in this body. And now I'm trying to push it away. And that's misperception and illusion, because you are not this body. You are an individual perspective of God, of Source. Do you see? So as we understand that each person has two parts to them, one that is always, always, always loving and supporting the whole of all of consciousness and everybody you know and everybody you ever know, always. But we also have a part of us, so to speak, while we're in this body, believing we're this body, that says, I don't have to support the whole. I don't have to support and love this person or appreciate this person. And now that causes a split. That would be the idea of the ego. I don't have to. It's threatening me. Therefore, I don't have to. So we split away from who we are. Now, that's important to know from your side, because once you know it from your side, then you'll know it from other people's side. When they come at you and they're angry, or they judge you, or they don't like you, you'll know that they have split, do you see, from who they are. And you will recognize their pain. You will recognize that they are basically trying to contract their body down, because we're trying to move away from who we are, and it's very uncomfortable, and eventually we have to let go. You have to. There's nowhere else to go. This is why there's no darkness, no source of darkness, no source of evil, nothing pulling you down. Just a belief structure that doesn't serve you. And as you look at them judge you and angry and frustrated, or whatever it is, regardless if it's your past or now, you will say, that's a part of them. That's a part of them. That's having a journey. And what part of them is, what are they learning? Not to be like that. And sometimes they have to go through different experiences to do that. And that's okay. Because eventually they will let go of that contraction in their soul, and they will release it. And just like when you contract your body, it all becomes separate. And when you release it, it all flows back together. Do you see? If I contract my arm, I'll stop the blood from flowing other places, you see, and it starts turning white. And when I release it, it goes back together into the whole. And that's exactly what we do every time we become unloving. We contract ourselves. We squeeze ourselves off from the whole. We blame outside, no problem. Eventually, we have to let go, and that's what forgiveness is. It's a release of that contraction. But the belief that we're talking about here today is an understanding now that this is an illusion. That the more you understand that, when people push against you, because that's the leading cause of us attacking them in our mind in the form of defense. When we understand, when they push against, anything pushes against you, your mind pushes against you, any ideas, any stories, any kind of feeling of pushing back against you is not true. You see, it has to not be true, because there's a part of them, that the mind's not reminding you in that moment, that is loving you and supporting you. And they might be suppressing themselves from that part, but it has to be there. You see, it has to be there. And that's what compassion is. Loving compassion. I now understand that you love me even if you don't even know it. And now you can't be hurt. And as you're not hurt by them and you see them hurting themselves, you'll want to love them. Even if it's just in your mind sending a prayer. I know they will find their way. Whoa, what a journey. I know what it was like myself to feel unloving. So I send them that prayer and that love, and I know all will be well. They are taken care of. They are still one with all the whole, regardless if they know it or not. They are contracting, but they'll have to release it. We all have to release it eventually. You see, so hopefully that will help, that belief, because once you let go of the belief that someone can attack you, someone can hurt you, and you recognize they are loving you, and if they're angry with you or they're resisting you, they're looking for your love, because they're missing the sonship, they're missing the whole, and they're hiding inside, do you see? Because they're cutting themselves off from the whole of who they are. And you could be the one to help them. It's okay. You know, even if it's just you're allowed to believe that. Anything to create no resistance towards them and remind them they are loved and lovable and loving forever. And as you do that for them, you will let go of that belief for yourself, and you will know that you are loved forever. And that belief will switch and change. And now, wherever you go, regardless if it's resistance coming back at you or not, you will use it in such a way to send and extend love back to the world. Because for no other reason, but for just this, because it's your nature to love yourself. You are an individual perspective of source, and your nature, your inherent responsibility is to love and support each piece of consciousness as the whole of consciousness that you inherently are. You see. Take that with you. I hope it helps. Let's love each other. Let's appreciate each other as we love and appreciate ourselves and the whole of all that we are. As always, it is up to you what you receive. And hit the like button if this speaks to you. Subscribe. Please share. Send me comments. I love talking to my brothers and sisters. And as always, my unconditional love and appreciation to all of you.